So now to be able to grab things and throw them, a little bit of homework first. I don't like my game view here, so my camera rigs, I'm just going to move the position up to, let's say, 1. It doesn't affect how high you are. In fact, if you went way up in the air and then hit play, your headset is not going to be way up in the air because it is dictated by how high off the Oculus Guardian floor you are. So you're actually okay. So I just move it up because it's prettier to look at, I guess, while I'm working. Anyways, we needed to drag in a couple of packages into our scene before we get started. So down in the project, packages, if I open up the input manager, go into runtime, prefabs, controller mappings, I'm using the Oculus Quest, and these seem to work just fine using the OpenVR left and right controller. I'm just going to drag those in loose. Also inside the hierarchy here, we have the tracked alias for the left controller and the right controller. And inside of those, I'm going to drop an interactor because I need to designate those as things that pick up other things. Or interactors. So in the interactables, Tillia package, runtime, prefabs, oops, that's interactables. I want interactors, prefabs, interactor, the left controller is, interactor, the right controller is. Now, when I click on that, you'll notice that it is looking for a couple of things for the grab action and the velocity tracker. Sorry. For the velocity tracker there, that's just going to be the alias itself. So I'll do that to the left and the right being the right. And for the left, the interactor, the grab action, that's why we drug these in here, because this has all the mappings for that. So for my left controller, I'm going to expand the input actions. The left trigger press is going to be what I consider to be grabbing something or picking something up. Okay? And then click on the right controller interactor. Expand open the input manager, input actions, right trigger press, and drag that in there. And now I don't have anything necessarily to pick up yet. So we need to add an object that I can actually pick up. Sorry, back in the interactables here. This time we're not in interactors, or in interactables. Prefabs, and you can just drag in one of these anywhere, and it defaults to a cube, which we will be changing the shape for shortly, but it's basically huge. Let's go to like a 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, and we should be able to pick up this object. On the interactable there, you're going to want to set a primary action though. So when I grab it, what happens? Well, I want it to follow the hand that I grabbed it with. So you do need to set that. The rest of it should be fine. Let's hit play and test it out. So guess what? After I hit play, nothing happened. Well, I could see my hands but I couldn't pick anything up. And I spent the last couple of hours trying to figure out what in the world was going on. Turns out, I forgot one step. If you have a bunch of, hey, this Tillia input is not set up, that kind of stuff, you need to go to Window, Tillia, Input, and manage the input. Before I hit this, what it's doing, if I go to Project Settings, Input Manager, look at the inputs there now. And then if I use this handy dandy add input and now go to edit project settings, look at all these new inputs. So I believe those errors is why I couldn't pick anything up. And this is also an interactable sphere because I was trying different shapes. I don't know. So now let's hit play and see if we can pick up something. Loading. And hey, I can pick it up. And it looks nice. I even turned on the precision grab. I can pick up and I can throw things, and life is good. One thing that you may not have on yours that I have on mine is, let me collapse some stuff. We got too much stuff open. On this cube here, right here, I have this set to precision point, which I did not show that earlier. I just showed that I wanted to follow, and the offset is precision point. So if I pick it up on the corner of the cube, that's where it holds on to it. If you don't have precision point set, it will kind of jump to the center of the cube on your hand. Let me just show what that looks like real quick. If I turn that to none, and I'll try and grab the corner, and there you can see my hand is basically inside the center of the cube. So if I try to grab a corner, it jumps to the center. So that's why I turn on the precision point, so it feels a little more realistic there. Precision point. Now if I want this cube to be something else, I want it to be a chair that I'm going to import. Stay organized here with the models folder, import, and there's my OBJ. This is a chair that I made in SketchUp, so I can use that. But this is the cube right here, and inside the mesh container, there's the cube. I can actually just drag the model right in there and just disable the cube, and now it's a chair. So that's kind of an easy way to do that. I'm going to leave the box collider on there. Might need to do some offsetting here with the centering of the chair there. That doesn't look too bad. And this is where the precision point really comes into play when you're picking up things like this chair. So let's try that now. Hopefully it works. Oh no! My chair has vanished. Really, it hasn't vanished. It's falling. There, you can see on the Y, it's just falling and falling and falling and falling. Why is it falling and falling? Because the cube had a box collider. The chair does not. So I might as well just put a little box collider on there. Let's focus in on that. Oh, these gizmos are in my way. Get out of here. Let's just make them really small. There. That box collider is way too big. Could make it a mesh collider, I suppose. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh man, I'm not very good at this. That looks pretty good. Not even close. There! Let's see if it disappears now. Put on the quest. Hello, chair. Look, I can even pick it up. Now I've got a chair. Excellent. So now I've got a custom mesh object. Whoops, bumped the ball. And now I can put materials on there to make it look a little more realistic. But we do have objects that we can pick up and throw. Yes!